Welcome once again to True Shadow. Today is our second episode. I do not know how you liked the previous story, but your love has given me the courage to bring more true incidents before you. There come certain moments in a person's life that cannot be explained with logic. Today's incidents are just like that. Before starting, let me say one thing. If there are any mistakes in writing or speaking, you will surely look upon them with forgiveness. Your appreciation is my greatest reward. Without further delay, let us go straight to today's thrilling incident. Some gifts brighten our lives, while some gifts bring a dark curse. Today, we will hear a bone-chilling true incident from the life of Emily, a resident of New Haven, Connecticut, USA. Today, the way Emily has written and sent the incident, I'm reading it out to you in that exact same way.
Hello, I am Emily. Currently, I am a resident of New Haven, Connecticut. That cursed spring from 2 years ago, I will never be able to forget. My life back then was much like a movie, perfect and colorful. For the last 5 years, I was in a relationship with James. When both of our careers became stable, then our two families decided to take our relationship to the next step. James's family is quite reputable and an aristocratic American family. Seeing their elegance, I was always fascinated. The day was February 7th, 2017. Outside, a light, misty weather and the sound of pine leaves falling, rustle, rustle. To finalize our engagement, James's parents and his close relatives came to our house for dinner. In this cold weather of New England, the warmth of the fireplace inside the house and the cheerful atmosphere were wonderful. Towards the end of the dinner, James's mother, Mrs. Miller, with a grave yet joyful face, stepped forward toward me. In her hand was a small maroon velvet box. She opened it and placed it around my neck, an ancient golden chain of extremely exquisite craftsmanship. The chain looked like it was from the Victorian era, with a mysterious red stone pendant hanging in the middle. She whispered in my ear, "Emily, this is a priceless heirloom of our family. The daughters-in-law of the Miller family have been wearing this for generations. I hope it will enlighten your life." At that moment, I was overwhelmed with gratitude. Looking at myself in the mirror, I felt like a princess, but I didn't know that in every link of that sparkling gold chain, there lurked a demonic spirit, and decades after decades of accumulated dark hatred. That night, after dinner was over and everyone had left, when I was alone in my bedroom, that's when the first discomfort began. Standing in front of the dressing table, as I reached out to unfasten the chain, suddenly it felt as if the heater in my room had shut off. In that bone-chilling cold of Connecticut, the room temperature dropped below freezing in an instant. I looked into the mirror and my heart seemed to stop for a moment. Right behind my reflection in the mirror itself, I seemed to see a tall, pale-skinned woman standing there. Her hair was unnaturally long and disheveled, almost sweeping the floor. But as soon as I startled and looked behind, there was no one there. I only heard a sharp, cold sound of laughter, which seemed to be coming right from the walls of the room. I thought maybe I was seeing things due to exhaustion, but when I took off the chain and placed it on the table, the red stone of the pendant seemed to glow with a bloody light even in the dark. That night, when I tried to sleep, I felt someone was standing right outside my bedroom door, breathing heavily. That feeling was so intense that the hair on my arms stood up. While lying in bed, I felt the place where the chain had touched my neck was starting to burn slowly. Going to the mirror, I saw a deep, dark purple bruise had formed there, which looked exactly like the fingerprints of a hand. I still hadn't realized I hadn't just accepted a beautiful piece of jewelry. Rather, I had become bound by a contract with a cursed spirit of that ancient family. That gift did not change the course of my life for the better. Instead, it was dragging my normal life toward a dark hell.
That cursed touch of the chain, the wound it had created on my neck, was only the beginning. Exactly 48 hours after returning from James's house in that quiet apartment in Connecticut, the most horrific hell of my life descended. February 9th, the time was approximately 1:15 a.m. Outside New Haven, it's snowing, but the inside of my bedroom suddenly became colder than any deep freezer. Where the modern thermostat was supposed to be at 70 degrees, there, on the display, I saw the temperature rapidly dropping to reach 10 degrees. Wrapping myself in a blanket, shivering, I sat up from the bed. Right then, in the very corner of the dark room where my old bookshelf was, I felt a movement there. A strange rotten smell like days-old stale meat and the damp smell from under the earth filled the room. Suddenly, from within the darkness, two eyes like red balls of fire lit up. Not a human, a tall, bony, skeletal shadow. Its jaw was unnaturally sagging, and from there emerged that terrifying, bone-chilling hee laughter. That laughter was not like a human's laughter, but rather as if the sound made when two dry bones are rubbed against each other, exactly like that. Cut, cut, cut. I wanted to scream, but no sound came out from inside my throat. It felt as if some invisible hand was throttling my windpipe. Tired, as soon as I closed my eyelids, that horrific nightmare began. In the dream, I saw some abandoned cemetery in New England. There, the same tall woman wearing an ancient British-era white gown. She is coming toward me and abusing me in such obscene and filthy language that I have never heard from a human's mouth. Her voice sounded masculine once and then immediately like the scream of a little girl. She kept saying constantly, "This is not yours. This blood is not yours. You cannot snatch him away from me." I woke up from that nightmare with a scream. As soon as I sat up, I felt the pillow was wet. Turning on the dim light of the room, looking at myself in the mirror, I froze in terror. From my nose and from inside my ears, hot blood was gushing out and soaking my nightgown. The strange thing was, I had no pain, only an unbearable mental agony. Looking at my own eyes in the mirror, it felt like the pupils of my eyes were turning grey. When I opened the door to go to the bathroom to wash my face, right then my gaze went toward that long wooden staircase in the hall of my apartment. At the exact middle section of the stairs, a shadow figure is hanging. Its 2 feet are at least a foot above the floor, floating in the air. Its hair is wriggling like some living snake's. That shadow figure slowly raised its head. Those red eyes are aimed at me. It began to float toward me at high speed without any movement. I sat on the floor, closing the bathroom door. From outside, the sound of scratching nails could be heard. Scritch, scritch, scritch. As if someone was writing my name on the wooden door with something very sharp. At that very moment, right next to my ear, a female voice whispered, "James was mine. James will remain mine." I couldn't understand how a dead person or some evil force could attack my existence like this. That night, while I lay on the floor soaked in blood, I felt that golden chain, which I had kept in the drawer nearby. It was moving as if by itself. From inside the drawer, a sharp sound of mechanical friction was coming. I could hear the sound of many people crying. Towards dawn, when the light broke, I saw in the mirror deep scratches of nails on my back and stomach. Someone or something is trying to tear me apart from inside. I knew what James's mother had given me was not a blessing, rather it was an ancient invitation of the devil. This city, this luxurious apartment, everything has now become a living graveyard to me.
After that blood-curdling experience of the second night,
My body and mind were no longer under my control. Even though the sun rose in that modern apartment in New Haven, the darkness around me was not fading. My mother, who works as a nurse in a reputable hospital in Connecticut, gasped in horror seeing my condition. The doctors did all the tests and said there is no physical problem with me. But Mother knew this was something beyond science. She decided to take me far away from this cursed city, to a secluded mountainous area of Pennsylvania, to an ancient spiritual guru or exorcist, whose mention she hadn't forgotten even during her long life abroad. When we reached that misty valley, the sky was a slate-colored gray. In front of a dilapidated cottage, an old occult practitioner wearing a white dhoti was sitting. As soon as he saw us, his two eyes narrowed. As soon as I got out of the car, I felt a strange change inside me. My voice changed. I began to scream, abusing that old man in filthy languages, words that I never even knew before. My mother cried out in fear when she saw me pulling the hair of my own head with my fists, and like a madwoman with my own nails, tearing my own skin. Someone inside me, as if was preventing me from entering that sacred place. That occult practitioner said in a very calm voice, "Hold her tight. She is not doing this herself." 4 men together pinned me down on a stone platform. The occult practitioner took out a copper bowl and put some consecrated water and vermilion in it. After that, he started a surprising bowl-driving process. The bowl, incredibly, started moving toward my stomach by itself, and it became still right over my navel. When the old occult practitioner pressed the bowl hard, I let out such a scream of agony, which did not seem to be of a human voice. Ah! I felt as if someone was tearing my liver out through my navel. The occult practitioner then showed a bone-chilling scene. As soon as he moved the bowl, we saw the skin over my navel had become as if transparent, and inside it, a black, shriveled, skeletal hand was clearly visible, which was gripping me tightly from the inside. The scene was so gruesome that Mother lost consciousness. The occult practitioner said in a grave voice, "Emily, the evil force that is attached to you, she is no ordinary ghost. This is an extremely powerful female spirit who wants to kill you bit by bit and possess your body. She wants to take you into her world." He sat in front of a fire pit and started chanting some mantras. The flames of the fire became unnaturally blue. He took out an amulet made of a special metal and put some ash and blood-red sesame seeds in it. Then he stood in front of me and said, "This spirit is connected to some mistake of your past which you do not know. This amulet is your final protection. Do not separate it from your body in any way. If you open this, then that spirit will tear you to pieces." When he put that amulet around my neck, I felt that skeletal hand on my navel gradually loosening. With a violent jolt, I regained consciousness. I began to pant. That smell of rotten meat from around me left, and a strong scent of incense came. But the occult practitioner's face was worried. While bidding farewell, he whispered near my ear, "The amulet will give you protection for sure, but she has not left your soul yet. She will return at your weakest moment. Be careful. She will now make a nest inside your dreams." On the way back from Pennsylvania, I was looking out of the window. Inside the mountain mist, for a moment, I saw that tall woman standing there. She was looking at me, smiling that fixed smile. He. I realized the battle has only begun. The amulet arms might have protected my body, but the door of my subconscious mind was still for that witch open. After returning from that mountain valley in Pennsylvania, I thought maybe I would finally find peace, but I was wrong. The amulet given by the exorcist had built a wall around my body for sure, but my inside was then a living hell. After returning to that apartment in New Haven, my hunger, thirst, everything vanished. The smell of food made me vomit, not any ordinary vomit, thick, dark blood. My body was drying up and becoming bony, and with dark circles under my eyes, I myself was turning into a living ghost. James would come every day. Seeing this skeletal condition of mine, tears would come to his eyes. One day he held my hand and said in a very calm voice, "Emily, I know it will sound strange, but my grandmother once said something. When some unsatisfied spirit attacks someone like this, then it actually wants love or recognition. Next time when you see that woman in your dream, instead of being afraid, try to call her Mother. See if she becomes calm." That night was one of extreme horror. After James left, whenever I tried to sleep, that dark mist surrounded me again. In the dream, I discovered myself inside an old dark hall. That tall, bony woman was clinging to the wall like a lizard. Her two blood-red eyes are fixed on me. She slowly climbed down from the wall and began to move toward me. I was shivering, but remembering James's words, gathering all my strength, I whispered, "Mother." In an instant, it was like magic. A strange sense of calm descended upon that horrific face. That bone-chilling smile of hers changed and turned into a pitiful, enchanting smile. She came and sat very close to me and pulled me into her lap. Her body was cold like ice, but a strange tranquility consumed me. While stroking my hair, she said in a non-human tone, "Who taught you this word, huh? Who told you to say it?" I was in a trance then. I spoke the truth. "No one taught me, Mother. I called you Mother on my own." As soon as this was said, that serene environment turned into hell again. The woman's two eyes blazed like fire again. She burst into a terrifying scream. "Ah!" With her long, ugly hand, she gripped my jaw tightly and forced my mouth open. I began to writhe in pain. She pulled out my tongue with her nails and with intense rage began to try and tear it off. Within the dream, I felt the inside of my mouth was filling with warm blood, and I started to groan, "Ugh, ugh." While twisting my tongue, she was saying, "Liar, you are lying. Why are you wearing James's chain? That's mine. You will snatch away my James." Around 4 a.m, when I woke up, I saw my pillow was completely soaked in blood. The inside of my throat had swollen so much that I couldn't utter a single word. Going to the mirror, I saw my tongue had turned blue and there were deep bite wounds on it. I realized the advice to call her mother had backfired. That unsatisfied spirit has realized that I wanted to trap her. Now her wrath has increased manifold. Even having the amulet, she is attacking my nerves. That morning when James came to see me, I explained everything to him through signs and gestures. James's face went white. He informed tonight his mother would come for dinner again, and seeing this condition of mine, perhaps some hidden truth could be found from her. But my heart was saying the coming night would be the last night of my life. Either I will live, or that unsatisfied spirit will snatch away my body.
With that wound on the tongue and deep terror in the mind, while I was counting the moments of death, just then, Through a priest of an old church in Connecticut, my mother found the trace of that strange old occult practitioner woman who primarily works with spiritual shadows or shadow elements. That afternoon, James and mother took me to that old woman, holding me from both sides. She resides in a secluded cabin on the outskirts of New Haven. Looking into my eyes, the old woman turned toward James and said in a sharp voice, "Where is the chain? The chain that she wore. Bring it." As soon as James took out that Victorian golden chain from the bag, the candles kept inside the room flickered out all at once. The old woman prepared some water burnt with special herbs or holy water in a stone vessel. After that, she bathed me with that consecrated water and gave some of it to drink. While the water was going down my throat, it felt as if boiling lead was going down. I screamed in pain, "Ah!" But strangely, that swelling in my throat and the bluish wound on my tongue began to vanish in an instant. The old woman dipped that chain into the vessel mixed with consecrated water. We all watched in surprise. The water in the vessel began to boil vigorously and ugly-smelling black smoke was coming out from there. Fuss, fuss. The old woman announced, "The one who attacked you with this chain is now defeated. But remember, her rage was not toward you, but toward this chain." After the whole incident calmed down, James came and sat beside me. His face was pale with guilt. Holding my hand, he began to tell that truth in a very low voice which had not been informed to me before. James said, "Emily, I didn't know this chain would bring such a big danger. Actually, it belonged to my biological mother, Mrs. Diana Miller. When I was 7 years old, then mother died in a horrific car accident. But mother was mentally very restless. Her relationship with father was not good, and her death in that accident was actually a mysterious, unnatural death." James further informed that James's mother was reportedly holding this chain tightly at the time of death. She had a strange sense of possession over this jewelry. Her unsatisfied spirit wanted to keep an eye on the next generation of the Miller family through this chain. When James's stepmother, that is, the current Mrs. Miller, gave this to me as a gift, perhaps she herself did not know that the spirit of James's birth mother was intertwined in it in such a way. That spirit actually became furious upon hearing me call her mother because she could not tolerate me beside her James. On the instruction of that occult practitioner old woman, the chain was buried in a special religious place so that the unsatisfied spirit could find liberation. Gradually, my body began to get healthy. The shadow of that tall, thin woman never appeared again in the corner of my bedroom. I started eating food normally again. That lost brightness returned to my eyes. Today, when James and I walk through our driveway, even now, occasionally in the wind of the pine forests of Connecticut, I hear that mysterious whispering. But now I know I have that protective charm or amulet around my neck. I have survived from a dark hell, but the scars of that experience have remained in my mind forever. Gifts are not always auspicious. With some gifts remain entangled decades after decades of accumulated sighs and curses.
Today, we heard an extraordinary incident. For this, many thanks to everyone. Anyway, finishing today's episode right here. How you liked the incident must let us know by commenting. Hope that in the future as well, you will stay by our side. Your every support, comment and like provides us the courage and inspiration to collect new incidents. Your love and support is our success. If there is any true incident involved with your life, you can send that by writing to our email or in the inbox of our Facebook page. All links are given in the description of the video. We will publish the story created with the true incident sent by you on our True Shadow channel. Maybe your story could be the terrifying mystery of the next episode. Everyone stay well. We'll see you in the next episode. We will tell you true incidents every Friday, Saturday, Sunday and Wednesday.